Just give me the code of this game, and let's go over a few things.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I've been talking about the timing, still, yeah, and this is the main idea. When you go in a game, you don't really have to focus on multiple things at once. You just want to choose one thing to work on. That's something I even said in the tasks. Yeah, you have to choose one specific concept, and then make sure you implement it to that point that you feel like you can do that more automatically. You kind of don't have to think about that as much. So the timing rule, yeah, we want to make sure your tank is active and then you be active as well. Yeah, pretty fundamental. Obviously, sometimes the exceptions when you don't have to apply this exact rule, but most of the fights, that is true. You have to pay attention to what your tank is doing. Okay, so now if we go a little bit more in depth, how do you make sure your tank is active? Yeah, what do you have to do to make sure your tank is actually active in the field before actively engaging? What do you think?
I have to look.
You have to look, exactly. And most of the time, the question is, are we looking before you actively engaging with the blade, with your dash even? Are you looking before that where your tank is?
No.
No, exactly. So this is the habit, and that is something you can fix. Yeah. Now, let me see. I'm just gonna copy this and give you an example. So screen here, screen sharing. Okay, history. Yeah, it should be good now. Can you see my stream just fine?
No?
Sorry, is it working?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, good, good, good. So even right at the start, right here, you can notice you start on the lab building. Then I was saying, oh, the time is not there, right? But it's, of course, I could say your position and everything. It can be better, but it's not the main reason why we were not getting enough pressure down, or maybe not enough value down. Yeah, it's just paying attention to those key moments, understanding where my fight is, where my tank is active. So you gotta be anticipating a little bit more. So one of the things you can do is before you applying pressure, yeah, before you can be active, just looking at your tank. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. We scouting where our tank is, and you can do that before every fight. You can do it in downtime as well, like maybe you reloading, maybe you behind the corner, just in general. Yeah, when you're not actively applying pressure, that is something you can do. But I always suggest start scouting at least before the actual fight starts. So you have to scout now, yeah? You have to scout and see what is this guy doing, yeah? Is he active? And if he is active, then am I able to capitalize on his pressure? Yeah. So this is the question
Okay,
you want.
so
Hmm.
do you see the it's much easier if I wait, do you have two screens?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a little experiment.
No, you wanna show me something or? So do you want a screen share as well or?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, can you see my screen on?
Not yet. Try to, yeah, try to screen share again.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
Okay. Can you like press N and get this bar out of the
Yeah, yeah,
picture?
of course.
Okay, do you see my mouse? Like here. I could have played here.
Yeah, you can, but see, the position is not the most important, right? Can you still be up in the building while being able to capitalize on the Ramator's pressure? Is that possible for you to stay up in the building?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
play, for example, here
Yeah.
and get some
Yeah.
pressure down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think at this point of time, you can choose any of those buildings and it will be enough. The red one is better. Why? Because you play one dash away towards any group here, so you can
Yeah.
always dash to this, dash to this, dash to this. So this is like one dash away. But it's not only that you play one dash away in relation to your team, but you're also able to capitalize on where the fight is gonna happen. So we mentioned you have to keep in mind where your tank is, what is it doing. Okay, that is the one idea. Once you identify that, you gotta understand where the main fight is gonna be. So you tell me, what is this location where the main fight is gonna be now?
Wait, I have epic pen. I can draw myself. Give me a sec.
Oh, you can do that too, if you feel like.
Oh, then it's much easier. There we go. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm thinking the fight is going to play out here.
Yeah, exactly. Right around the corner. Yeah. Oh, by the way, so I'm gonna be able to see the Epic Band. I think you have to share the entire screen. Maybe because you're
Oh,
screen sharing Overwatch, it's not showing anything. Yeah, yeah. Just saying. But it's okay. It's okay. I understood what you just did there anyway. So it's fine. Yeah, the fight is gonna be right around the corner. And because you do all of this, because you answer all these questions, it makes it so much easier for you to understand where you're gonna be. Yeah, and see where we went right there, right after. You went all the way right side around, right there.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's and the whole fight is happening
yeah. The
up
whole
here now.
yeah,
All of a
well, they
sudden.
kind of went through the corner, right? But before, maybe there could be opportunities for you to do something. Yeah, your matter is already active, so you have to keep that in mind. By the way, something what might be useful as well, when you're in the game, you can see those kind of blue bars above, blue markers above any character. Whenever they are not active in the field, whenever they are not receiving pressure, they're just blue, simply blue. But if
What?
they
Is that a setting?
oh well, it's just default setting. It's just default setting in the game. You can see it when you're gonna go in the game, you'll see that. So if they're not taking damage, the blue marker is just blue. But if they do take pressure, then it becomes yellow or orange. Yeah, it's just kind of around that. Yeah. And that is something what can help you as well sometimes. Maybe you notice somebody, maybe it's your tracer, maybe it's somebody else like your supports, they just behind the corner, you notice them taking damage. This setting might be helpful because it tells you, yeah, are they actually receiving pressure? And you don't have to hear shots, you don't have to hear the enemy even, yeah, it's just more visuals. Yeah, so you can keep that in mind. Okay. And this area here, this right there, this area around the corner,
Yeah.
it's something what's called your kill zone. I usually like to describe it this way. You want to be able to apply active pressure in the kill zone, and kill zone is the area where most of your team can be active. So
Yeah.
why most of your team can be active is that because your Ana is there, because this group of people can also shoot from this high ground, and your Ramatra is exclusively able to punch people in this area, kind of around this area, okay? And that's your idea. Just because you able to capitalize on the kill zone pressure, you can get a lot of value, yeah? And your position, like the specifics of your position, you can be here, you can be here, it's better, yeah, or you can be here, but fundamentally, here you're not in the kill zone, so you already lost the fight. Maybe, yeah, it's just difficult. Maybe to give you another example, so let's just move to random, yeah, random timing. So let's say here. Where is your kill zone at this point of time?
It's it's behind a wall.
It's behind the wall, exactly, and see where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where you should be to be able to capitalize on the kill zone.
I should be here actually.
Yeah, here is, yeah, on the left, exactly, exactly. Yeah, you can take this position on near the stairs, maybe use the pillars, apply all this corners rule, sure, yeah, the one you described me before as well. Why not? You can do that, but being able to capitalize on the kill zone is the most important. So see, maybe the opportunities for you to go after the Mercy, maybe the opportunities for you to go after the Kiri, but while we're in the kill zone, we keeping in mind the main factor is what your tank is doing, when your tank is actually active. Mm-hmm.
For example, when the tank is in the back line right now and the entire fight is
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So what do you think then? Yeah, like so this is interesting. Yeah, like your tank was active for short period of time. He actually initiated the pressure, right? See, this is exactly the point where you need to start thinking about capitalizing
Yeah,
on
you
that. Yeah.
see, can you see the monkey's health?
Yeah. Exactly.
I could have easily
Dash. Yeah.
gotten a pick if I
Yeah.
played here.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
please go to my position again so I can see. I played back here. First of all, I was half HP, so
Right.
I needed to break off. But can we go to when they pushed through the choke over here?
Yeah.
No,
So
no, in the back, like on the bridge over here.
on the bridge over here. So yeah, you just want me to.
It's
Yeah.
no, it's earlier in the match. It's much earlier.
Oh, you just talked. Okay, I got it.
It's the
Let me go back.
previous checkpoint.
Yeah. So it's the you wanna watch the second point.
Yeah, this bridge right there.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. So it's just even before. Okay.
Because this is extremely open space.
Uh-huh. So open space. You talking about up on the bridge or?
No, no, like in general, all of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. All of
It's
this is
so
open
open.
too.
And when I play back here, shooting a tank that gets heals, that's not a lot of value.
Right. Exactly.
But instead, I can like position myself right here, where the fight
Right.
is, one dash away
Yeah,
from the fight.
yeah, exactly. So you position one dash away, so this is your kill zone, sort of, yeah? But again, you don't have to exactly search for opportunities in the kill zone. Yeah, you can, maybe, and that's kind of an exception rule. You can search for opportunities outside of it if somebody is isolated, usually, just like this Kyrie. Because you're playing Dav character, you have a lot of burst, right? You can easily get a kill on anybody, just like this guy there. So
Look at
if
the mercy as well.
yeah. The Mercy is also the one you can go after, yeah, because she's half HP. But see, you can break this rule sometimes. Let's say there's nobody who is really killable on this position. Let's say there's a tank full HP, Brig full HP, and Moira, but there's a Kiri up there and she's alone. Yeah, you can kind of break the rule of the kill zone and try to capitalize on somebody else. But before that, you should be positioned still to be able to contribute on that. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, you maybe being here or you being up there even, and you able to capitalize on the opportunities which Killzone gives you, but you still search for anybody isolated. You can go after them whenever. So either Killzone or isolated. Killzone or isolated people. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this can be kind of your consistent rule. And for corners and not being open is just how you use all of those. So even this high ground is the corner. That is something you can use. We can talk about corners more later, but I think it's not the most important. I think you use cover relatively well, so it's okay.
So, but I got one epiphany out of this. You have to kind of like identify where the fight is going to happen. Or
Yes.
the fight.
Exactly. And that depends on that main factor. Who is dictating where the fight is most of the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, who is that? You tell me. Who is that exactly on your team?
Oh, who's the Ramatra is pretty aggressive.
Yeah, Ramatra, any tank on
Yeah, okay.
your
So the
team. Yeah,
tank is controlling where
usually.
the fight is going to happen.
Exactly. That's why you want to scout right before the fight where your tank is, and after that, you gotta identify where the fight is gonna be based on that. Yeah. So your matter is saying, I'm gonna break through this corner and fight up on the point. That means the main fight is gonna be there most of the time. Sometimes it might be different. Sometimes your tank might be dead. He might be not with you for whatever reason, but then you can just pay attention to the rest of your team to kind of pay attention what most of your team do, basically. So let's say your Reaper sets up an angle here, somebody is going B, kind of some of your team is going from B, then you can easily capitalize on this and see because you have angles set up on this position. This is your kill zone then, yeah? Most of your team, if they're able to be active in a certain area. That is your kill zone, basically, to put it simple. Make sense?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get it.
Okay,
But
good.
if I was to play out, can you go to an eagle eye perspective, like on top of the map?
Yeah.
Like this. You see, the whole team is up here,
Right.
and the Mercy is on payload alone.
Right.
But if I knew that this was going to happen, then I could have capitalized on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
So what I'm talking about is instead of like following my team, I can kind of calculate what is going to happen
Yes. Exactly.
and
That's the
play
main
from
point.
that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. See, because you do all this anticipating, yeah? You're not gonna play with your tank or follow them. You just gotta keep in mind, oh, what is about to happen? What are they gonna do? And then position on your off angle, position on your best corner, and be able to contribute to what they do while doing your own thing, yeah? It's just see, you don't have to maybe go back at this point of time. You can still try to fight for the stop high ground or maybe even flank around. But this is more risky for you as a Genji because you don't have as much mobility like compared to other characters. I mean, just dive characters in general. So someone like Tracer can flank more. Someone like Sombra can flank as well. You kind of taking those more off angles where your team can actually support you still. So maybe being up in this window, being up on this high ground as well, that what gets you a lot of value. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just about the positioning, but yeah.
But I killed that Kiriko.
Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah, I'm not saying it's like was bad there yet, but it can be better, right? You can increase the efficiency because you go here even earlier maybe, and because you can anticipate all of that information which you mentioned before, it makes it easy for you to get value. Yeah. This is what it's all about, being consistent, doing it every fight, and because you do that, now it becomes easier. See, this is where it becomes really interesting. You actually, right after you, yeah, right after the pressure on this Winston, you gonna notice the trace on the flank, I think, and that is where it's gonna go in a different direction. Yeah, like first of all, you need to identify my kill zone. My kill zone is here. See where you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Read in the back where you should be.
On top.
Yeah, it should be on top right there. Okay, so maybe this is an opportunity for you to get a kill on the monkey because you set up for the kill zone. Yeah, you set up on your good off
Why
angle.
am I in the back?
I don't know. you know, I know why. Probably because a couple of times, like most of the time, you were scouting for Tracer, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's just subconscious, but still.
Yeah. I was scouting for Tracer
Yeah,
because
but see how this is not your priority, right? You don't have to. You just gotta set up for the best opportunities possible in the kill zone, and if opportunities present itself, like somebody's isolated, sure, go with them. But first is the kill zone, always. First is where the main fight is, right? So
yeah.
this monkey, killable. Genji, well, questionable, but yeah, might die. But this is really far, like sniper range.
It's really far.
Where are you? And then you're like,
Yo.
wait a minute. You know what's gonna happen later? You're like, okay, this blade. Oh,
But look. Go back to when I was here.
yeah.
No, go back to when I was here.
Yeah. Sure. You're gonna be yeah. So here?
Okay. Look, when the fight is active and we have a winning opportunity, I'm playing here. But when we're losing the fight and the enemy team is gaining space, and then I'm dropping down.
Yeah. Well,
Look at this. Let me see it.
yeah. Okay. Well.
The Ramatra is in the front line. Okay, look, now I'm dropping down.
Yeah.
We're losing the entire fight.
Yeah. And there's a blade
That
already.
is when
Yeah.
I should play sniper range.
Yeah, at this point of time, when they have a big advantage, usually it's either you really can commit and just, if you know you lose the fight no matter what, just down point and farm your blade, or you can escape and live and just poke from far. It's just two options. I don't think you have to think about it as much. Just do one of those options and you should be good. I usually suggest with any options you want to choose, just whatever gets you more value in terms of like you able to be more proactive and kind of get kills done, maybe force more resources, do that, to be honest. It's always about that. But here, okay, the fight is already over. I think there was a point of time when we were kind of going after the Tracer a lot as well. So it was before that as well. So I just want to show you this example there. So it's just, yeah, right after here. I think we're going to set up. So I'm just going to do this. We're gonna see here. It makes sense. You're resetting, so you can play far. You still can think ahead of what your matter is about to do, where he's gonna go, and everything. So even this already can tell you, oh, my matter is going around the corner, so maybe I gotta get closer. Maybe even go up on this position as well. And see, it's really important. You can even think about this perspective of if you take the best position you can, which allows you to apply pressure, the enemies, they will start using resources on you. They will try to go on you. But because you do it in your kill zone area, if somebody goes on you, your team is actually able to punish that. Yeah, like let's say you move to this corner here, and for whatever reason, the enemy Winston here overcommits and tries to go really deep, yeah, then your Ramatra can maybe use Nemesis form, and then your Ana maybe can use Sleep Dart on the Winston. Yeah, it's just even about that. You're forcing an enemy, you're kind of baiting them to go on you because you have really good position on the map. Yeah, I think here this is where we kind of were. Yeah, you was going after the Tracer a lot. You was kind of scouting. Yeah. So you was looking. Oh wait, the Tracer is there. Yeah, but the main fight. We want to pay attention to that first.
But why is the Reaper so far out?
Well, that can happen. You can control that, right? But what you controlling is where the main fight is about to be. Yeah, where this kind of location where you have a lot of opportunities. Yeah, and it says kind of around here. Your Reaper is a little bit far up, sure, but still, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be on this high ground there. Yeah, because you want to capitalize on this because if you're on the high ground, who knows? Maybe you get the Curie, maybe you get the Mercy, but the Curie is probably gonna be first because she's isolated. Yeah, and then after that you can see what to do next. Yeah, if your Tracer, I mean, if the enemy Tracer gets a kill, it's still fun. You can think about it like, oh, she gets a kill, but because I'm applying pressure as well, I can trade with the enemy. Yeah, I can just get a kill on somebody else as well. The Tracer is not your first priority because it's not the easiest one to kill usually.
I'm still in the back line.
Yeah, you still was there, yeah. But it's kind of it's because you distracted the Tracer. That's what I'm saying. Attention is what is important. What your attention is on, okay? If your attention is before the fight, where my tank is, and then where the fight is gonna be, then it becomes easier, yeah. And then later, as the last priority, you can also say, wait, I want to poke this Tracer. Sure, go and poke, but you still have to move to the position of the kill zone while you're doing so, yeah? So it would be kind of going up, poke, and then you see the opportunities in the kill zone, capitalize on those. If no opportunities, well, maybe you get the Tracer, maybe hit her, yeah, that's also fine, but still, be around the position of the kill zone. Yeah.
So, step one, identify the kill zone and then play around it.
Exactly, most of the
and
time.
Boom,
most of the
you
time.
will never, ever play in the backline ever again. Because
exactly.
I never have the kill zone in mind.
Yeah,
Never.
Yeah. Now
I have
you're
never
do
even
that.
thought about that. Ever in my entire life playing Overwatch. So
now
if I
it's gonna
know
be easier.
that the payload and the kill zone is going to be here, then I can set up here, here,
Yeah.
and provide much more value to my team.
Exactly.
Instead
exactly.
of literally zero.
Exactly.
Pretending to be a healer.
Exactly. Okay.
So it's great. A realization is good.
Yeah. Okay. And now something about the mindset. Just how do you practice all of what we mentioned so far? So first thing is I always suggest you want to pick one specific concept and actively apply that in your games. So how you can go about that? I'm just gonna describe the process here. Most people when they practice, they do it this way. So imagine each box it represents 1 hour. So this is 1 hour here, this is 1 hour here, 1 hour here. Let's say they choose a specific subject to work on. And usually people, they work for it for big amount of hours, kind of, yeah, like let's say you maybe learn math or you learn physics, whatever. You work on that for some hours and then later you switch to something else. Like let's say you switch to working on English, or maybe you want to learn Spanish, I don't know, other language, doesn't matter. It's the same about Overwatch, actually. Like a lot of people approach it this way. They go from one idea to another and then to another. But what do you think is potential problem with this approach? If you just work this way, if you just kind of pay attention to the concept and it's for really a long time, and then you switch to another, and then you switch to another, what do you think might be problematic about this?
Oh, it's so slow.
Okay, so it's slow. What does it mean exactly?
What it means is like, okay, uh, imagine this. Are you like talking about hero characters or just certain skills?
That's well, it doesn't matter to be honest, but I usually relate to skills. Yeah, let's say you work on certain skills, right? And if you do it this way, like let's say axis positioning, or maybe to be more specific, X is how you take off angles, Y
Yeah,
is how you play corners, Z is your timing with the tank.
yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I think that every character has to be played differently, and if you mix characters, it's hard to become great at one character.
Hmm.
So if I
Yeah.
go for Genji, and if I only play Genji, I one trick him, and then Genji's skill tree is going to grow like crazy, then I will become really great at that character. But if I play like 10 different characters, my progress will become much slower.
Yeah. Well, it's just if you, yeah, if you think about X as a X is you playing Genji and Y is you playing other character and Z is playing other character, yeah, it becomes pretty slow. You're right. So you have to keep in mind just what is the what is your main hero pool, right? You wanna just kind of work around that and see how the progress is. I think usually you wanna choose one character and then work on certain concepts within the character. Yeah, I'm more asking about when you work on ideas about the character. Yeah, like let's say you work on positioning while playing Genji, you work on your timing while playing Genji, you work on decisions while playing Genji. You see, like why people have this problem with autopilot a lot of times is because they have to focus on a certain topic for a really long time. So, see, this is imagine you sit in a really long lecture and it's 3 hours lecture about how to position around the corners. What is gonna happen with your attention at the end of the lecture? Is it gonna be really high or is it gonna drop?
It's
Most
gonna
likely.
drop,
Most
of
likely,
course.
yeah. Attention is gonna drop most likely. And that's why most people have this problem with autopilot. Well, that is one reason. Because your attention at the end, it starts dropping and dropping, and then you not actively thinking about what to do next. That is exactly what's happening with a lot of people. So that's why you need some sort of refresher constantly, and you need to switch between active goals a little bit more. But it's
Uh-huh.
not just you randomly switching. You have to do it with a purpose. You have to make sure there's a certain strategy behind it. So the first idea, yeah, if you practice this way, attention is dropping and your focus on one concept. Like let's say that was your 24 hours practice. Your focus on one concept here, like let's say you work on X is only 3 hours. This is only 3 hours and this is only 3 hours. But if you work on those ideas in a different way, like let's say you work just like that, X, Y, Z, for example, and then you do X, Y, Z later, and then you repeat X, Y, Z again. This way, your focus on one concept is gonna increase. Yeah, so I'm just gonna use different color. Okay, it's gonna increase to 9 hours. Why is that? Because you consistently switching, going from X to YZ, and then going back to X. It's not just you stuck
So it's
working
a
on X.
schedule,
Yeah, yeah. It's
a
more.
training plan.
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah, exactly. That's the point of the training plan too. We kind of work on one concept, then we can work on another idea, but then go back to our previous idea if we need. Yeah, exactly. That is training. You can even see it in school and in university. Yeah, it's just something what's done a lot. Yeah, that's why you do all these tests and exams to just see like how you improved at something, and to also be able to remember and to put everything along your memory. Okay, so your focus is really high on the concepts if you do it this way, and your attention is also going to be high.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, take your time.
Hold that thought. Okay. I just got a thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that you apply the 80-20 rule in coaching as well. Like 20% is playing games and 80% is learning how to play the games.
Oh, would do it in opposite way.
Okay, so it is the opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to play most of your time. Yeah, I think.
Okay, so it's not like you play 10 games, which is 20%, and then you analyze the games and get better.
So it's just, let's say, okay, let's say you play 10 games. Yeah, then what are you gonna be doing is not analyzing every game, right? You just gotta be looking for patterns and kind of spending 20% of your time. Yeah, like maybe spending 20% of your time on, oh, what do I need to do better? What are the patterns? And then go and apply. Yeah, like 20% of your effort, yeah, on learning and all of that is gonna be going into the practice later. That's why you actually gonna play more. Yeah, I'm not sitting with you for 15 hours of your playtime. I'm only sitting with you here 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is our 20%, right? Kind
Oh
of.
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that you see, this is yeah. That's why it's like we do it this way. It's not other way around. If I would be
No,
sitting with you 15 hours and you're gonna be learning, it would be so exhausting, and you actually would not learn anything because you not even applying that too. So
yeah, I get it.
it's just really tough. Yeah. So yeah, that in that regard, you need to do that. But about this rule, so here, what is that about? This second way of practice is interleaved practice. Is just because you're switching, going from one concept, let's say it's X, to another concept Y, and then going to another concept Z. This way, you keep your attention really high and fresh, so you constantly have something in mind to work on. Yeah, maybe every 1 hour, or maybe even every game. See here in the brackets I just mentioned, one game, and then one game after you switch to something else, and this helps you with autopilot. This helps you with just breaking this. Maybe not being actively thinking that much. So to do that, what you can do, maybe you can put an alarm, maybe you can write down all these concepts on the list. Yeah, let's say right when you go in your game session, before that, use sticky notes or use notepad and write down the exact concepts you're going to be working on today, and do it this way. So you work on X, Y, Z, and then go back to X, Y, Z and repeat.
Yeah.
XYZ should be the biggest things you need to work on. So for us, it would be something like timing, killzone for now, and the third one you can pick, maybe just playing one dash away, for example. Yeah,
So you focus on an individual box each game, or do you
exactly,
focus on all 3 boxes each
one,
game?
yeah, just one box. Yeah, that's why here X is one game, Y is one game, Z is
Ah,
one game. Yeah, just step by step, one goal at a time. You never want to focus on multiple things,
yeah.
because our working memory as humans is really limited. You have to just keep one goal in mind. That's enough. Maybe two, but if it's just really, if you think it's gonna be easy for you, yeah. If the goals are kind of too small and you keep them in mind, then sure. But no, you don't want to focus on too many ideas. That's why it's actually overwhelming. Like if you're in a live game or something, if somebody tells you you need to do this, 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 and this, it's just really hard to apply in real format. You can't do that. That's why we usually want to focus on just 1 2 ideas. That's enough, and we obviously can adjust the specifics. Yeah, you can adjust some micros about how you apply that, but yeah, mostly you just work on one goal at a time. It should be much better this way. Okay, so this way our attention is high and your focus is high as well. Okay, so this is how you're gonna practice. Okay, this way, the second way is what you need to do: interleaved practice, XYZ, XYZ, XYZ every game,
XYZ.
just in case if you still can autopilot on something. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
say you still autopilot even though you practice for one game, you practice X. Well, break it down even more. You might switch every round. You might, I mean, between the concepts you can switch every round, or maybe you can switch every 10 minutes, put an alarm. That way it helps you. Yeah,
Hmm.
but XYZ should be really specific all the time, so it's easy for you to practice as well. It shouldn't be way too general. You can say, oh, today I'm working on positioning. Yeah, today I'm working on X positioning. No, it's way too general. And to be able, like, let's say you what do you or you identify your own issues, to be able to be more specific, I usually suggest to answer 3 W's. It's just 3 important questions. You gotta understand what you need to practice, when you need to practice that, and where. So for example, if I apply timing rule, yeah, if you apply timing concept, timing is what? Yeah, like what I gotta practice. I gotta make sure my timing is right. When you need to do that, when your tank is active, where you need to be 1 dash away. Yeah, so once my tank is active, I have to be 1 dash away. Yeah, to be able to
So
execute the
this
timing
is
rule.
these questions I'm going to ask myself inside the game.
You can do that before you setting goals, because here XYZ, that is something you should write on before each game session, ideally. Use sticky notes, use notepad to write down those goals. Make sure those are specific, and
Yeah.
this way
What
it's
about
Mhm.
using sticky notes, right, and sticking them on my screen
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
don't
That's the point.
forget
Yeah, that's
the.
the main point of sticky notes. Yeah, right.
Okay, so I can look at the sticky notes while playing the game.
Yeah. But you have to keep in mind, it's just sticky notes. It's not writing down your full story of how to play Genji. It's just writing down XYZ.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It really makes sense. It
Right.
does. I'm going
Okay.
to grab some sticky notes after this
Okay.
session.
Okay.
But
Okay.
didn't you have like a doc sheet
Yeah, I
with
do. I
a
do.
lot of information?
Yeah, I'm using that. I can just show it to you, but I'm using that for myself pretty much to kind of be able to track. I can always tell you where we are based on that. But here, because
Oh
I
yeah.
just I
This
just
is.
I just know
Have
where.
you made it?
Yeah, I made it myself. So here, it's just for me, so it's easy for me to track. So at the moment, what we've been talking about is okay. It's mostly the kill zone here. It's the main idea is position to be able to contribute to your kill box. Okay, so I kind of mark it as like maybe level 1, and we just reviewed that as well. So I press this here, and then I know when I'm looking at the big picture, I just know where we are. What are we doing exactly? Maybe I'll forget something. Yeah, like let's say one day I forget. Oh, we've been practicing the kill box. This here, it tells me where we are. It just makes it things easier. You don't have to use that because here it's not really useful to you. Why? Because what you're not gonna know what that means exactly, like angles concept. What does it mean? Or like strike at the weakest concept. What does it mean? It's just me. I know, but I can always share with you where we are on this on this picture here. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I see. I
yeah, it's
see.
just for myself to make it easy for me to track the progress. Here, I also gotta see like this here. We talked about the timing. I think it's like let's mark it level 2 because I think it's like you practicing that, but yeah, it's just synchronizing pressure. Still
But
something we
this
need
is
to work
so
on.
much.
Yeah, true, but that's how I track the progress.
Of course. But are we going to go through like each?
Most of it, most of it. Not each,
Okay.
but most of it. We already gone. Okay, so we used the part about the even ability management. Like, is just part of this. It's still your kill zone. It's still where. What is your timing? What is your position? We can also say like the map control perspective, yeah, like one dash away, it's still something what goes into map control. All these topics, they're actually connected to each other, so it's not like there's a lot. It's just for me it's easy to track all of this when I do it this way, you know. When I'm focusing on one scene, like why I do it this way, it's because if I work on something, like let's say we're working with you on ultimates, while we're working on ultimates, so target priority, I can keep in mind how we're doing at those other concepts which we've been working on. Because some players, they have problems when applying something new. Like let's say you're applying something new, but you trying to also implement old ideas. Yeah, like we maybe talked about the kill box here with you before. Yeah, but for some reason you struggle applying kill box rule while prioritizing something. Yeah, that's why I did it this way. It's just easier for me to see like the to get all the information here. This here, it could be much smaller, I think, but it's just more in depth, so why not to do it this way?
Yeah. So the things I'm going to practice on for now is engagement timing,
Mm-hmm.
kill zone,
Yeah, well,
and
let's specify. Let's specify. So, again, we want to be more specific with our question. So that is something I'm gonna save in here in the summary. Okay. So interleave practice XYZ. Be specific. Okay, what allows us to be specific? What kind of questions? One answer.
what do you mean?
Remember the questions when we practicing XYZ or something. We
Yeah,
because killzone is way too general. Yeah,
yeah.
if you just say, "Oh, I'm practicing the killzone," what does it mean? What kind of questions you can ask to be more specific about going into that? Yeah, about practicing the killzone. CWs.
Like,
What are those?
do you mean like positioning yourself in the kill zone?
No. The questions. What are the questions?
What, when, and where?
Yeah, exactly. What, when, and where.
Oh, of course. And identify the kill zone. Is that what you mean?
Well, sort of. Those questions, they're gonna help you. to just be specific. Yeah, why I'm asking that, because when you go in the game, if you say, I'm practicing the kill zone, it might be not as easy for you. That's why you gotta say, oh, what I'm practicing, kill zone, but when I should be doing that. Yeah, like here I'm just gonna phrase it, contribute to the kill zone, but then you can say when you should be contributing, when your tank is active, for example, where you should be, like one dash away, or you can apply something else, like if you notice you be not around the cover for some reason, then you can say, oh, I gotta play near corners a little bit more. But it's just mostly about that. What is your decisions? When is kind of the timing when you do something, and where is it's your positioning, usually, yeah, where you should be to be able to execute the concept. Yeah, so it's kind of, those questions can help. Be specific, what, when, and where. Interleaved practice, doing X, Y, Z, yeah, and X,
Wait,
Y, Z. Mhm.
did you get the codes I sent you?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I left some codes.
Yeah. I have those in my notes. Yeah. It's just
Okay, so
in the old
it
one.
works. If I put notes in this sheet, you will get them.
Yeah, of course. I see it right there. I can copy and paste. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's just the new summary. It's just the new summary. I'm creating the new summary for each lesson. That's why. That's why there's
Okay.
like nothing here, but I can always see the old one. Yeah.
But this is like a small piece of the pie. It doesn't add up. For example, a tank is active. That's all I know. I don't have the full perspective. I don't have the full knowledge.
Yeah, true, but you don't need that. So it's, so to speak, okay, imagine you want to learn math and you want to be the best at math, okay?
Let's not pick math. I hate math.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of to give you an analogy.
yeah. Just pick philosophy.
Philosophy. Oh, okay. Philosophy. Philosophy is interesting. I think the philosophy is like hard everywhere. Kind of. It's just my main analogy is you gotta think about something small at the start. Yeah, like something basic, something fundamental, what you need to work on, and then later you need to learn all the nuances. Yeah, you need to learn all this other stuff. So the message is easier for me, but the philosophy, I'm not too sure what to pick there, to be honest. But with the math,
no,
okay.
I just don't like math. I wanted you to pick something else. That was it.
I can pick something like maybe English, or maybe you can pick just
No, it was just for the analogy.
Yeah.
I thought just for the illustration.
Yeah, I
but
totally get it. But let's say you learn language. Yeah, like let's say you learn certain language to be able to phrase sentences, to be able to actually say proper stuff to people. You need to learn alphabet. Yeah, you need to learn A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, you need to learn all of this, because before that it's going to be hard for you to say anything. It's the same thing about here. Why are we paying attention to tank? Because this rule, it applies to most of the fights. Obviously that
it's the A, right?
It's the what?
The tank playing when a tank is active and playing in the kill zone is kind of like the A and B in the alphabet.
Well, it's kind of, yeah, sure. You can.
So that analogy was really good. It clicked in my
head. Okay, nice. That's the main point. Or it's 2 + 2 in math. Sorry. Right. Well, so here you gotta think about that first, for sure, and then obviously there are exceptions of this rule. Yeah, we mentioned those already about the kill zone. At least you contribute into the kill zone, doing all of that, applying pressure, but we mentioned something that you can go after isolated targets whenever. Yeah, if somebody is isolated and those are pretty killable, you can go on those. Why not? But if there are no other opportunities, then you have to contribute to the kill zone most of the time. Yeah, this is kind of most common exception for you, is the Genji. going after isolated anybody, if they're killable. Obviously, it's not like when the trace is 1 mile away. You have to make sure they're in a dash range. You can right click them, so be active with your cooldowns and pressure.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But what about this concept? You have like the fundamentals, which
Yes.
is like the roots
You
you
apply
plant.
those anywhere. Yeah, fundamentals, you apply those anywhere, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
but
time.
it's like the roots you plant in your garden,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And all the flowers and all the branches that gets manifested from the root is kind of like the sub principles.
Yeah, well,
What I mean by that is like
uh-huh.
the principle is playing around corners, and there is
Yeah,
and
that's
a
fundamental.
lot
You do
of
it whenever.
thoughts build up on the principle.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I usually say it this way: you have some fundamentals which you apply anytime, but then later you're gonna learn concepts which are situational. Sometimes you have to apply those, sometimes not. And that's exactly like even today, we mentioned that already. Going after isolated target, are you gonna do that every time? Yeah, like sometimes there are gonna be points of time where you can go after certain isolated target because they are too far, or maybe they're just no isolated targets. So you have to apply the fundamental rule. It's kill zone whenever. Yeah, you should be there at any point of time. You should be able to go on the kill zone. That's why it's just something fundamental is always nice to start with. Yeah, timing, kill zones, your even how you use corners. It's all something you're gonna use in any game at any point of time. Yeah, later there gonna be other concepts like target priority is more situational. For example, it's gonna depend on a lot of factors. Knowing tempo, understanding do you have advantage, disadvantage depends as well. But yeah, always
Wow,
start.
it's a lot of things to learn.
That's okay. No, don't worry. We
Yeah, no,
take it
I'm not
step by
worried.
step.
I'm getting excited, but wow, I didn't know that Overwatch was so deep and nuanced and profound. It's
Well,
uh, it's cool.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so let's just kind of go back to what we learned today. So you mentioned you want to contribute to the kill zone. Okay, so to be more specific, how do you contribute to the kill zone? What you need to do?
Okay, so I identify where the kill zone is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
where the kill zone, and then I position myself
Mm-hmm.
one dash away from the kill zone.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
this is specifically when I play Genji.
You can apply this to anybody. I think any other character. Yeah, it's just gonna be different types of your how you take angles, what is the range, how you use
Yeah,
abilities.
yeah.
But this is mostly fundamental for anybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the fundament, yeah. So I'm going to identify where the kill zone is, and then I'm going to play around that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to dive in when my tank is active.
Yeah. So yes. Sorry. Yeah. Your tank. So your tank is active. Yeah. You can be active as well. That was our previous point. Yeah. Tank is active. Be active as well. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Most of the time. Yeah. Uh, maybe to give you an exception, when tank is not there for whatever reason, then you have to watch what your team is doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If tank is not there, then look at what most, or like, yeah, look where most of your team is, where they can be active. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's this. Uh, Going after isolated targets whenever, and I just gonna mention it's gonna be in scouting. Yeah, all of this information you gotta scout before the fight where the tank is. You gotta anticipate where the kill zone is because you do it before the fight. Yeah, scouting is usually your first phase, kind of. That is something you need to do at the start of the game. So yeah, get information, then fight. Might be good if we talk about engagement flow a little bit more with you, so it's gonna be easier for you to understand. By the way, I have a video on my YouTube about engagement flow, just so if you interested,
You
but
can link it in
yeah.
the doc. But do you think that if I so I'm just going to follow these small fundamental things in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to build my skills upon them.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I get it. So just give me some action steps to take so I know exactly what to do.
Yeah, so actionable steps, that's what we already mentioned. You tell me, so you gotta go in the game and do what? If you want to apply timing rule, what is your action step?
So it's the I'm going to apply the XYZ principle as well.
Yes, exactly. That is our kind of fundamental. Before we go on in a game, yeah, let's do XYZ, write those down. Yeah, like, I'm just gonna write down even use sticky notes. Sticky
Okay.
notes, notepad to write down XYZ. Mm-hmm. XYZ, and then go in the match. Go in the match after. Yeah, go in the game. And then make sure you practice this way, yeah, XYZ, XYZ. And to be specific at XYZ, like whatever you want to focus on, you can answer the questions what and when and where, so you not wait to general. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's the first step. What is the next step?
Of the XYZ?
No. Like the actionable steps, yeah? You've been asking me that exactly, yeah? So what do you want to
Oh,
do right after? Once you identified XYZ, what do you do after that, yeah?
oh, you play 3 games. XYZ.
Well, you can play 3 games. You can play more.
Yeah, I
Even.
think I'm going to stick to 3 games. I think it's going to be
Mm,
enough.
well, if you can play more, so your playtime. Mm,
Of course, no, XYZ 3 times. XYZ X3. So
uh,
XYZ 3 times. So 9 games in total. Maybe more.
well. Overall, your playtime, it should be, if you can do minimum 10 hours per week, that is the ideal. But you
Okay.
do it the same way. So it's not XYZ 3 times. It's like XYZ as a general principle. Yeah, like it's easy for you to, so it's easy for you to like apply all the information. Yeah, you can do as much as you want, like XYZ and repeat, but you do it until you can stay highly focused. Yeah, if you notice that you can stay focused for whatever reason, then you just maybe instead of actively practicing, you can maybe have fun with your friends, maybe you can do something else. But yeah, at minimum, you should play 10 hours. If you can do more, like you mentioned, you do 15 hours per week, that's even better.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I usually do like 50.
Well, if you do 50, that's really good, yeah, if you're able to. But make sure when you apply all this stuff, your playtime is oh, sorry, when you apply all this stuff, your focus is high. Yeah, you not tired, you can
Battery
actively
critical.
think about all the things, and should be good. Oh, sorry, give me a second, my headset just, I need to put it on charge. 1 second.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, now I'm back.
Charging battery.
By the
So
way, I have to mention one thing. I have a mental disorder, if you can call it that. It's called ADHD. So my focus can be a little bit scattered sometimes.
yeah, I get it, it's fine. That's
So
what
if
that.
I
Mhm,
lose focus overall, I need time to like grab myself in
mhm,
and recover.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And I think if you keep in mind this rule with interleaved practice, might be easier for you, right? So you follow certain guidelines, kind of. You do X, Y, Z instead of maybe going from X to randomly something, yeah, like to the random subject. I actually had a few students with ADHD. I think when we did interleaved practice, worked quite good for them, but we'll see if there's still gonna be some problems, so we can adjust, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let's do that. Those are your actionable steps. You do the XYZ first, then later you pick the concept, work on that, exactly what I mentioned in the summary, and you go from there. If you have any questions, you can always message me on Discord, and you can even send me specific timestamps with the questions. So I say it here. You can send me replay code, timestamp, and specific question about anything. I suggest just focus on the concepts we mentioned with you in our review. Yeah, maybe it's timing, maybe it's killzone. So ask questions about that, so it's gonna be easier for you to implement all the advice. Okay?
Okay, yeah. But did you write like the XYZ things and all of what we've learned this lesson in the?
You're gonna pick XYZ from our list, but for now I can just say like as
Yeah,
what
but
it's gonna be.
I can't see the information in
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
doc
send
sheet.
it to you. I'm gonna send the new doc to you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna
Just to
do
be
it
clear.
right after the session. Yeah. So you're gonna have probably something like scouting in UX. You're gonna pick that. You're gonna pick contributing to the kill zone. Yeah, and then timing is just mostly when your tank is active. You gotta be active as well. Yeah, something like that. You can always choose. Yeah, like switch your goals a little bit. Yeah, that's why it's always before your game session you pick XYZ, you write it down, you stick your notes, and you make it easy for you.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you have any other questions, or that's it for today?
that's it for today. It was an amazing session.
Nice, good. Let's talk about the warm up later as well, and we gonna talk about the, I think, engagement flow would be good. I also
Yeah.
see we have the topic when to swap, so we can talk about that as well. Okay, then I will see you later, and good luck in your games.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, but